So I did an omega-3 study, and I have all the data from it. So I did this blood test just after being primarily raw, all vegan for 10 plus years. So test, where am I at, right? Because when I first changed the diet, I had lots of skin problems and dry spots and almost like eczema and stuff like that, and just a propensity for that. Even the first few years when I was eating primarily raw, all vegan. And so I did that, wanted to see where I was at, just kind of a baseline. Because the plan was I wanted to go on this plant-based omega-3, which was actually a clary seed oil. And it's super expensive, and it's sold out of Israel, and it was getting all this hype. And so I'm like, I want to do a test, I want to do a baseline, then I want to do that, kind of see what the improvements are. And so I did that every day for 3 months. And then I sent in another blood test and then got the analysis back. And it was surprising, it was shocking that it was the results, and I have all the data so I can share it. It was actually worse in some areas. Like for whatever reason, it had degraded my omega-3 results. I have promoted and encouraged Highly Acres for years because they have a great lab, they have just great teaching, they have lots of resources. Yeah, and they started promoting this fish oil a couple years ago. I'm like, no, I didn't believe that it was right. I'm like, no, I don't think we need that, you know? And so finally, after a couple of years of kind of going through this on my own, I'm like, okay, I'm going to try it. And so I did they sent me a bottle of the stuff, and I did it every day for 3 months, just a little bit. Maybe like, I was probably doing maybe 1 to 2 teaspoons a day, and so basically I did the Pharmax fish oil I did 1 to 2 teaspoons a day for 3 months, and then I sent the test in again. Unbelievable results, off the charts. From the 3 studies, it's like, let's say I'm a 2 on the first study, I'm a 2 on the second study, I'm a 10 on the third. I mean, it's like just boom, 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 just off the charts on all of them into the healthy range. Doing just the only thing I changed was adding in the fish oil. And so basically, man, my kids and I, we've been fishing this summer. We've been catching salmon off the beach and eating them.
You continue taking the supplement?
And yeah, I'm going to continue taking the supplement periodically, and I'm convinced that fish, a certain amount of fish at a certain level is good for us. And the other thing with it is that I believe, and I'm not one of those to say like everything in moderation is okay, because I don't believe that. I don't believe that we need animal protein. I don't believe that excitotoxins are in any way good for us. I don't think we ought to be doing that stuff. But with fish, I do realize, like just with a lot of other things we eat and consume and the air we breathe, that some toxins come along with it. But I think if we're eating a primarily raw plant-based diet with some fish, some seafood, that we're actually going to be able to overcome the advantages to that in the oils that we get, and maybe even some of the proteins. Because if you read Dr. Joel Fuhrman's stuff, and even Dr. T. Colin Campbell, they clearly say that the issue with the animal protein is not the same as the fish protein. The fish protein is different. And so the issues that we get from it, like the heavy metal toxins from fish, are easier for our body to overcome based on the advantages that we get from the fish oil. So that's the story, and I've got all the data for this, and that was the reason why I wanted to talk to you guys today, was to tell you, hey, if you want to ping me outside of this, I'll send you the reports and you can look at them for yourself, and I think you're on the right path.
That's interesting. I wasn't expecting you to say that. I was expecting you to be... Because you said earlier that you thought animal products cause disease, right?
Absolutely.
Just not fish. Just not small
Not fish. Yeah, not fish. It's animal protein. Have you read the China study?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we were just talking about. It's funny how because everyone tells us to read the China study, but T. Colin Campbell eats fish. He eats a small amount of fish.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like they're like trying to tell us to read the book from the author, and tell us to not eat fish, but he actually eats fish.
Yeah, they never read the book, probably.
And same thing with Dr. Joel Fuhrman. I mean, in his book, he talks about I believe he actually even eats a little bit of animal protein, even though in his book he says 5% increase in animal protein. He's not talking about fish. He's talking about dairy, cows, pigs, whatever, that kind of stuff. Puts you in the 50th percentile for cancer. 5% of that in your diet. It's like, we don't need it. When you look at my kids, they're 6, 8, and 10, never had any of that. They've had fish, but they've never had any of those deadly animal proteins.
Your kids are glowing, man.
The kids are
Yeah,
awesome.
they are.
Your kids look
Your
good.
son came up to us, he was hilarious. And all.
So I think this restroom's open if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, then I'll wait till the picture.
Oh, we're good. We're good.
Oh,
This
it's
video.
streaming video.
Yeah, cool.
So good to meet you guys, and please ping me. I mean, and how long are you in town for? Are you doing the video
Until
thing
Wednesday.
tomorrow?
Are you gonna be there too?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I want to make a video, kind of what we just made too for our channel.
What was your name?
YouTube channel.
Again? Name?
Jerrod.
Jared.
Jerrod
Cool.
Sessler.
Cool.
Yeah.
Be on.
I'll
got Jared's book.
You got Jared's book?
Yeah.
Sweet.
You just gotta sign up.
What's
for
your book
research.
called?
5% chance.
5%. What's your website?
JerrodSessler.com or just ping me on Facebook.
Wicked.
Jerrod Sessler.
Cool. Will do. Thanks.
If you want to last, we got similar results. I got blood tests before and after eating, and I think it was mainly my testosterone like quadrupled in a very
From
short period of
fish?
time. I was eating. I tried different things. I tried eggs, but I could tell. I know it kind of sounds crazy, but intuitively, I could tell like when I ate fish at night, I woke up. It just as crazy as it sounds, just like much hornier and much more full of like energy, like energy I could use in the gym. Not like an energy I could use to like run around and act like crazy and have fun. I was fine. Like mentally, I was fine eating all fruits. But when I came to gaining strength and physical conditioning, I just wasn't.
Okay, so we have to make this video really interesting.
Cool.
I gotta tell you, so I'm very happily married, have a beautiful brunette wife. But I was walking in today, a couple hours ago, and I'm walking in the thing, and you're walking down, right? And I'm with my two kids, my two oldest, and I turned to Gabe, my son, after you walked by, and we're kind of walking up on the front. I'm like, dang, I think I just saw the best looking guy I've ever seen in my life.
That's what you said?
I said that to my son. I didn't even know who you guys were when I was like,
Wow.
geez, man.
It's the fish. We're just giving off like. I don't want to say it. No, I'm kidding.
All right.
That makes
Closing out.
for an interesting,
Life force.
interesting video.
Save your power.
What do you think? Fish.
Protect it.
What do you think about the fish?
Yeah.
You had a fish controversy.
Let's get Dan's take on
Dude, I
this.
don't- There's no controversy, man. I mean, every different food has a protoplasmic response. What are you trying to create? I mean, if you're going to have warriors to go to war, are you going to feed them raw vegan? They're going to be like, oh, I don't want to kill you today, man. You're going to be trampled because the other dudes are eating chicken and fish and spices and everything else, and they want to kill you. And you're like eating watermelons and you're trying to send these soldiers off to war. It's not going to happen. So you just got to use food for what you want to use it for. And a little bit of fish, it's a very common thing to happen if someone's been raw for 8 or 10 or 12 years and they go, I just got to put on a little something here. And it just creates an anabolic response in their body.